Probably I have yet another run-in with the DMV. I was doing some furniture shopping to find a bed to replace the giant rat's nest in my bedroom when a large gentleman who stood at least 6'5" with a singular eye in the center of his forehead burst out of the display cupboard and grasped me by my lapels. Naturally, I made no attempt to struggle because I recognized him from his time working as a barman for one of the beautiful taverns raised in the Detroit seaport. Sidebar, I'm not sure why, but for some reason it still feels weird every time I say that. Anyway, I asked him how he's doing, but to my surprise and no small amount of chagrin, he wordlessly lifts me off the ground and shakes me violently. Then what fully tells me he's here on behalf of the DMV on account of my not going through the proper channels to have a driving test with candy, thus I was still holding an invalid license. I can tell he wants to punch me in the most vulnerable part of my face, the mouth. What outrages me more, however, is the fact it seems unfair that such an event should have come after so long a time frame, and I informed him of this. However, he simply tells me the wheels of justice grind slow but grind fine. Oh, it's been like a month. Now, personally speaking, I don't fully comprehend the fancy talk like you hear from a lawyer or judge some such. Legalese is a language best interpreted by a wallaby. However, I had no desire to find myself ground slow or fine. Therefore, I resort to drastic measures and am able to distract him by dangling my keys in his face. And when his grip slackens so he can swat at the keys while giggling, I promptly wheel myself out of the third-story window into the waiting arms of my hobos. After righting myself, I sprint for my Brad Flintstone car to make a quick getaway. This time, however, rather than my hobos staying much together as they tend to the injuries or mourn the death of the hobo/hobos I landed on. One of them actually follows me to my car. I quickly recognize her as the wisest, most perceptive, and most spiritual of my hobos. A woman called me Star Wars and asked her what she's doing, because I kind of need to get away from here as fast as possible. Weirdly, she does this thing where she asks me what happened and why I had to leap out of the third-story window. This is very strange to me, because usually people don't express an interest of any kind in my life, so I kind of have to just start telling people a story about myself entirely impromptu to feel her. Anyway, after I tell her about the fact the DMV are after me because of what I've done in the past, she tells me the DMV wouldn't be the relevant party in the 313 and that the relevant authority would in fact be the Secretary of State or an SOS agent. There's no time to process the shocking revelation, however, and I'm forced to flee to my house. Once I get home, I'm quick to do research, pulling up 5 forks, because I'm not quite yet ready to forgive Ben despite being a forgiving fellow. In fact, check Ray Star Wars. To my shock and horror, I discover Ray Star Wars was cracked. Immediately, this raises the question: who was it that sent the DMV agent?